What's interesting to me, of course, is that going into this day one of the convention, Roland, a lot of the talk has been about the friction between the Clinton and the Obama camps, and not the focus on McCain, which has been a little bit of a problem as you head into day one, don't you think?
Well, absolutely, because the problem is you have Clinton backers who are still trying to run the primary, and somehow they did not get the email or that they actually lost, that it is over, that it ended the first week in June. That's been the fundamental problem here. And so it was ridiculous on Saturday when the focus should have been on Obama and Biden. The talk was about, well, was she vetted? Did she get a phone call? And then even today, it's Bill Clinton is unhappy because of his speech on Wednesday. Look, this is not the Clinton National Convention. This is the Democratic National Convention where you're providing the nominee to Obama. I understand her supporters, but at some point you have to recognize that the issue is November.
Or is that support, or is that a supporters issue? Because certainly the supporters issue you see in the poll numbers, frankly, which now have Barack Obama and John McCain and neck, with many of those Hillary Clinton supporters looking like they're going to go for John McCain. But is some of that, I mean, someone's obviously leaking this information to the press. People aren't just making it. Politico.com, which reported on Bill Clinton being unhappy with his speech topic. You know, they're a well-respected political website. They're not making this stuff up.
Of course. And look, so I mean, at some point, Bill Clinton or the Clinton advisors are going to have to zip it and recognize the issue is November. So I got one more D word, dumb. The Democrats are dumb. How in the world do you not realize to sit here and be involved in this protracted battle is dumb? This is a perfect example why Democrats typically blow it, because they don't know how to go in for the kill.
When you say dumb, you're talking about leadership or you're talking about voters?
I don't understand why Harry Reid, the majority leader, Nancy Pelosi, Howard Dean didn't say, look, we're going to squash this. We are not going to sit here and have 48 hours of Clinton Obama drama. This is about McCain. This is about winning. This is about defining Bush and linking McCain to Bush. At some point, they have to shut it down to say this is about party over your petty personal issue.
But she is still making the argument that she is the more electable candidate.
Carl Bernstein, what do you think?
I think that there's a real problem Barack Obama now has, which is there is a genuine, angry, committed Hillary Clinton movement in this campaign as her campaign is collapsing. It would take a near miracle for her to get the nomination, and yet she's got this army out there. She's found her voice at the end of the campaign, and these people, particularly women who are committed to her candidacy, are saying, no, we won't surrender.
Hillary Clinton and her supporters argue that West Virginia is a good example of why Barack Obama may have trouble winning in November.
So let's go back in time a little bit. This is 2004. George W. Bush wins the state of West Virginia 56 to 43%. And he wins largely by winning along the counties right out here. Look at it, turns it into a red state. But let's go back in time to 1996. Look at how Bill Clinton did. The blue is the Democrats. Bill Clinton won most of these communities. Not all, but most of these communities. And Hillary Clinton's case to Democrats, especially superdelegates, is I'm stronger. I can win these white working class voters along here. And she will make the case it's not just in West Virginia, that a big win tonight is not an aberration. She will argue that, look, over here in Ohio, this is back when Bill Clinton won the state with 47% back in 1996. Well, she'll say, look at 2000. It was a Republican state then for George W. Bush. 2004, a Republican state for George W. Bush, but in the Democratic primaries this year, Senator Clinton will say, look, I can win, especially out in these rural areas in small-town America where the Republicans run up the big numbers. So the delegate math, Wolf, so much of the math in this race is stacked against Senator Clinton. Her last hope is to convince the superdelegates, think about November. She will try to turn a big win in West Virginia tonight into that argument.
And the answer is even less happy. 75% of Clinton voters say they would not be satisfied if Obama wins the nomination. Only 23% say yes. So it looks like there's a lot of reconciliation to be done, and it hasn't started yet.
Now, a lot of the Democratic leadership would say, well, rifts can be healed, it'll just take time, et cetera, et cetera. We've heard that for weeks, really. Historically, is that true?
Historically, no, it isn't true. Very often these things go right into the convention and even beyond the convention. How about the Clinton voters? Do they believe Barack Obama shares their values? An even bigger no. 69% say no, just 30% say yes, Obama shares their values. How about the Hillary Clinton voters? Would they vote for Obama for president? And this is the sobering news. Just 36%, just over 1/3 of Clinton's supporters in West Virginia say that they would vote for Barack Obama in a race against John McCain. In fact, it's just about a tie. Obama 36, McCain 35, and 29% say they wouldn't vote or would vote for someone else. So it looks like if Obama becomes the nominee, he's going to have quite a struggle with John McCain to carry West Virginia for the Democrats. We asked Kentucky Clinton supporters, would they be satisfied if Obama wins the nomination? 77% said no, they would not. Obama didn't campaign much in Kentucky, and his views may be a little exotic in Kentucky's political culture.
What else did we learn?
Well, we learned that there is a warning sign in Kentucky for Barack Obama, and it is that a lot of Democrats are not getting on the Obama bandwagon. We asked Clinton voters in Kentucky, and she handily won that state, how will they vote for president in November if the choice is between John McCain and Barack Obama? And take a look at this. These are Obama voters. The Obama voters would vote for Clinton, but take a look at the Kentucky voters here. Only 33% of the Kentucky voters would vote for Barack Obama. 42%, more of them say they would vote for John McCain. She appeals to a lot of so-called red Democrats, more conservative Democrats, rural Democrats, who can vote for Republicans, who may have voted for Republicans, and they are just not getting on the Obama bandwagon, even if it looks like he's going to be the nominee. Got to be Barack Obama versus John McCain. How badly is the Democratic Party divided? Let's take a look at what they said in Indiana. In a choice between Obama and McCain, Clinton voters, everybody here is Clinton voters, said they'd vote for Obama 48%. 33% would vote for McCain. 1/3 of them would vote for McCain, and 17% wouldn't vote. That means half the Clinton voters in Indiana say they would not vote for Barack Obama if he's the Democratic nominee. Let's look at North Carolina. Clinton voters again. Only 45% in North Carolina said they would vote for Barack Obama if he wins the Democratic nomination. 38% would vote for McCain. 12% wouldn't vote. So again, a very big split in the Democratic Party in both of these states. Some very bad news for Democrats there.
I want to go right back to Bill Schneider. He's getting more exit poll numbers coming into the Situation Room. What are we learning, Bill?
Well, a minute ago we reported that how would Clinton voters vote if Obama's the nominee? Fewer than half of them would stick with him if he is the Democratic nominee. Now let's change that and ask what the Obama voters in both states would do if Hillary Clinton is the Democratic nominee. The answer, let's take a look at Indiana. In that case, 59% of the Obama voters say they would support Hillary Clinton if she gets the Democratic nomination, a solid majority. Turn to North Carolina. What would they do? In North Carolina, fully 70% of the Obama voters say they would support Hillary Clinton if she gets the Democratic nomination. So the Obama voters are more likely to support Hillary Clinton if she's the nominee than would be the case if Obama's the nominee. He'd get less support, substantially less support, from the Clinton voters in both states. Wolf?
Fascinating figures. We'll see what happens. Bill, thanks very much.
Right now, we have new numbers from our exit polling on how each candidate's supporters feel about the other candidate in the potential general election. Well, there certainly will be a general election against John McCain, and for that, to Nora O'Donnell. Nora?
And this is really interesting. You know, with Hillary Clinton winning tonight, we wanted to look ahead to the fall election, essentially gauge how much this contentious Democratic primary race has divided the party. Now, overall, 71% said they would be satisfied if Hillary Clinton wins the nomination, 64% for Obama. These satisfaction levels are very similar to what we saw in Ohio. Also, as we saw in previous states, Clinton supporters would be more unhappy with the idea of Obama as their nominee than Obama supporters would be if Clinton became the party standard bearer. In fact, 6 out of 10 Clinton voters say they would not be satisfied with him. Only about half of the Obama voters would be dissatisfied with her as the nominee. Our NBC News poll specifically asked Clinton and Obama voters what they would do if their preferred candidate did not win the nomination, and they were faced with the following choice: support the other Democrat or vote for John McCain or stay home. First, as you see here, only 53% of Clinton voters said they would vote for Barack Obama. That's stunning, only 53%. And when you look essentially at
in June, just 16% of Hillary Clinton supporters said they were going to vote for McCain. What happened? 1, Obama did not put Hillary Clinton on the ticket. 2, some Clinton supporters feel that his selection process was disrespectful of Senator Clinton. And 3, McCain, as we saw in those ads, is actively trying to exploit those resentments. By our calculation, half of Obama's decline in the polls over the last month is attributable to angry Clinton supporters.